We are the pop culture professors. Smart people, dumb topics forever. Taking the guilty out of pleasure. We stand together. We stand together.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That was the
come true.
Oh my God. That was the iconic, incredible Lady Lightning. Those are the masterminds behind our theme song. And I'm so excited because they're going to come back later in the show around the 9 o'clock hour to do some of their original music.
Yes, I would say the number one question we get is who did your theme song? It's so amazing. Now you know, folks, it's Lady Lightning.
And if you're not following them on Instagram and Twitter, you better be, because they've got some amazing albums and they've got more amazing albums coming. They are truly, they're the best. I'm obsessed.
And a dog.
Yeah, Mango's on Instagram too, y'all.
I mean, this show is starting off with a bang and a half. What is the show, Lauren?
So welcome to We Stand Cram Session. Some of you are probably familiar with We Stand Together, which is a weekly pop culture podcast on the More Banana Network. We're smart people talking dumb topics.
Exactly.
And what does that mean exactly, Caitlin?
Well, you know, we're pop culture professors at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day. We both have taught at the college level, one of us today, and we are also obsessed with pop culture. So we wanted to take the best of our podcast. Every guest we've ever had were invited today to help you cram for the school year, for the pop culture school year, if you will.
Yes, because if you are one of my students, you know, pop culture is a huge part of the classroom. In fact, my public speaking students' first assignment was to declare the song of the summer. Yes, today I made my class make a mixtape.
That is amazing. And I, at work today, made everyone talk about Quantum Leap.
A very normal thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Right before quitting time, I like to bring up the premise of Quantum Leap.
Well, I am truly so excited because, you know, back to school season this year, it's a little different.
Absolutely. A lot of our learners are learning from home, over Zoom, over Google Hangout. Others are doing distancing. It's all weird.
And so tonight, all of our incredible guests, and we have like over 20 comics tonight who are going to come here to tutor y'all in various subject matter.
Yeah. And we're all learning together for real this time.
Now, there's something a little different about this show, and we just want to make sure that everyone's expectations are really clear because, you know, we are teachers at heart. And so, you know, typically when you go to a comedy show, it's impolite to respond to what you're hearing and what you're seeing. You know, typically we would ask you to, you know, be quiet and keep your thoughts to yourself. This is not that show. This is not that class.
No. And in classrooms as well, you're not allowed to speak up, but no need to put your hand up, folks. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, and I don't know how else you're getting it, look down there. There's a place to comment. You can ask questions. You may see your comments and questions come on screen. We may have our producer feed them to us. We want to hear and talk to the other stands.
Yes, this is a class where we want to see your work. So pass notes, okay? It's cool. It's okay. And the more y'all take up space in our chat, the more fun this show will be. Oh my gosh, that is one of my former students. Hello, Anna. That's amazing.
Iconic name.
Anna,
Luca.
You know, Anna is an icon. She was one of my distance learners. She was in a short-term program I taught not long ago, and she's incredible. Welcome to the classroom, Anna.
Anna, welcome.
And another thing you can do to help make tonight even more exciting is to share your stream, invite your friends, invite your family, post on social media. The more folks we get in the classroom, the more we can help each other, you know, study.
And baby dolls, this is going on until 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay? So if you have a friend that doesn't get out of work for another half hour, don't worry. She can join then.
She can join, he can join, they can join, everyone can join. And we're just so excited tonight because, the back to school season is a season that is special to our heart. Caitlin, when you think about back to school, what are some of the most iconic sort of moments in pop culture that resonate with you?
In pop culture, okay. I gotta say, when Pacey and Joy returned from their sailing trip, and season 4, is that correct, Lauren? I defer to you.
Yes.
They're walking around campus, holding hands. I think about Mr. Feeney. It's so exciting that every year he's your professor. I guess we're kind of like that for you at home.
That is true. I never really thought about how much we are like Mr. Feeney.
I think about it almost constantly.
Well, you know what else I think about constantly? It's the folks we have in our first bit. Y'all, I am so beyond excited to welcome our first act tonight, and they're here to help us talk about fall TV. Please welcome to the virtual classroom, the one, the only, Kevin Fallon, Michael Hartney, and Lauren Lapkus.
Wow.
Wow.
What a crew.
This is truly... I manifested this. Like, this is my dream come true. These people all talking about TV at the same time.
It's a super group, I think, of television fans, critics, and makers.
So, this is an atypical fall TV season. In fact, one might say that fall TV is in crisis. And so we know that there is no one more studied or prepared to dive into the topic of fall TV than y'all. And so for our students at home who are maybe worried that their favorite holiday season, fall TV, is being ruined, things weren't in production, we don't have premieres, like, we are coming to you, our television experts, to find out how we and our students can survive. Like, how are we going to get through TV season fall 2020?
Well, fear not, first of all, because Dancing with the Stars is going back into production.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah. They are quarantining all the celebrities and their professional partners together so that they can dance together for the span of the show. So, I mean, no one has to worry about having nothing to do. We'll have that to last us at least really 2 hours a week. Yeah.
Who are our top stars this season?
Well, they haven't cast anyone yet besides some bachelorette girl who always wanted to be on it, but was never allowed on it, and now they're letting her on it.
Uh-huh.
That was a big thing.
Her name is Caitlin, and she pretends to be afraid of birds. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
Is there a new host?
Tyra Banks.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Wait, this is amazing.
Thank you so much for that. The production value of this show is through the roof. I'm so impressed with all of it.
They were relaunching Dancing with the Stars in the middle of a pandemic with Tyra Banks as the host.
Yes,
so it could only be brilliant.
I'm being replaced on We Stand Together by Tom Bergeron.
Honestly, like, I'll be honest, first day of virtual school was really hard, but knowing that Tyra is going to be at the helm of Dancing with the Stars has, like, calmed my weary soul.
That's been amazing. My biggest suggestion for everyone for fall TV is to not worry about what's coming that's brand new. I want you to go on Amazon Prime and I want you to pay for seasons 9 through 20 of Little People, Big World.
Are the first 8 seasons bad?
The first 8 seasons are unavailable.
I got it. Okay. That is tracking better. I understand.
So what are some of the challenges that they face in those back 11 seasons that you feel our viewers could take important lessons from?
Caitlin, divorce, living on the same farm property as your ex, dealing with new boyfriends and girlfriends, your children growing up and leaving the nest. They do a lot of flashbacks to when the kids were kids. I mean, it's truly quality television, and it's family, and it makes you feel connected. and you see everyone fall in love and have babies, and it's really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I am current on Sister Wives. Is anyone on planet Earth current on both Sister Wives and Little People Big World? Please DM us if so.
So Lauren, you have to buy these seasons. It is not included with Prime.
It is not free, and
Why?
there are random numbers of episodes in every season. I can't promise that you'll be satisfied with the amount of money per episode, but the content is gold.
I mean, this is how Bezos got to 200 billion easily.
What is the point of having Peacock and HBO Max and Quibi and all these other things if they're not going to pick up Little People Big World for our streaming pleasure?
I would honestly
Agreed.
get for this. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought up Peacock, Kevin. You really gave us a door that we need to walk through.
Yes.
Caitlin and I, for literally a month, have been arguing about whether or not Peacock is free. We don't.
My understanding is it is free.
Okay.
This is crazy. So my boyfriend wanted to watch the entirety of Brave New World. Okay. And I think only the first 2 episodes are free. Because they are dirty dogs over at Peacock. So they... Fair, TJ.
Wow.
So Turtle, my partner's name is Turtle.
From Entourage?
Subscribe. He's from Entourage. Yes, Jerry Ferrara and I are desperately in love. And he subscribed to Peacock, so there's like levels.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Wait, so is Peacock like the Amway of television?
Yeah, they're gonna hook you in with like a free episode of Supermarket Sweep, and then you're gonna be like, "Fine, I'll pay for the rest."
How dare!
I mean, that is a way to hook me.
That show is gonna be good, I think.
Oh, the Leslie Jones one?
Yeah.
When is that one premiering?
Fall.
Not damn soon enough.
Everything is fall.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will say this: Leslie Jones, funny on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
But on RuPaul's Drag Race and Project Runway, she is unstoppable. This is why she will crush it on Supermarket Sweep.
She was probably the best Celebrity Drag Race guest judge. I would
Unreal.
say, for sure. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about Supermarket Sweep is you don't need that kind of star power because it's a perfect concept in and of itself. So you add her to the mix.
Yeah.
I'm never going to leave my house. I don't leave my house already. But now I don't feel as bad about it.
I think there's also something kind of intense about putting that out during the pandemic because it's like watching people rush through a grocery store.
I know. I think we just need to nationalize Supermarket Sweep. Like all the food is free, but you do have to have someone from your family run through and grab it. Is Biden watching this?
Let's
He's in the chat.
For my advice to people watching the fall season, I actually just have one word and one number, and that is pen 15.
Okay.
Season 2 is starting on September 18th, and
True.
oh my god, the second Pen 15 season 1 ended, I was starving and furious that season 2 did not exist. I'm so excited. It will make you want to die many times, but it will also give you life many more times.
Wow.
Hulu.
I love it. Michael does get a kickback every time someone clicks on the link to Pen 15.
I started to watch I May Destroy You, great show, and I got my husband to watch it with me, and then I was like, well, that's all the episodes there are. He was like, you had me watch a show that's not done. Hungry.
That's what's giving me like a reason to live in this time though, is like waiting for my next week of a show like that. Like anything that's being put out in installments is good for me, I think, for my mental health. Because I'm like, oh, Marrying Millions. I got 90 Day Fiance. I got Real Housewives New York. I got Real Housewives Beverly Hills. I have a lot of things to look forward to, you know?
Oh yeah. And if you're not in on Marrying Millions, get in. We're on season 2. Desiree and Rodney are all you need.
Don't even. How about, I just was watching it and there's that woman who's dating the man who's 46 years older than her.
Yeah, I think that's real though. I like them.
I believe in them. I believe in them. I didn't realize it was that big of an age difference.
That's a steep diff.
He's 18 years older than her dad.
Oh my God.
There's the iconic couple, and they're also in season 1, Bill and Bree. And Bill's original wife, as she calls herself, is also basically a cast member.
That's right.
As it should
That's
be.
right. Yeah.
She calls herself the original wife.
All exes should be cast members of reality shows, in my opinion.
I agree. To me, that's the missing link. And what I needed to know about Dorinda is, who is Hannah's father? Like, who is that? You know?
It's not Richard?
No, Michael. No.
Yeah, Richard was her stepdad.
I'm sorry.
Are we?
Yeah.
Wait, this is blowing my mind. I've spent this entire Dorinda journey assuming that Hannah was Richard's daughter.
Likewise.
He was
What
her
are we going to do without Dorinda?
I mean, that's the big question. I can't believe that she's gone.
Well, that, and there's no Berkshire's episodes anymore without Dorinda.
No fish
Yeah.
room. Why bother?
Yeah. I feel like they need to go in the direction of all like Leah types and just make it like young and crazy.
They should real world the Real Housewives.
Yes.
Where it was first like a sociological experiment and then just became hot tub fucking and screaming.
Yes.
That is absolutely what should happen with this franchise.
Wouldn't Young Real Housewives of New York basically be what Gallery Girls was like a decade ago? Do you guys remember that E-channel show?
Gallery.
Like young high society girls,
Also,
like
Prince.
hobnobbing around.
Wait,
Were there
what's
any cast members that have endured from Gallery Girls?
I mean, they're alive.
To my knowledge. They got canceled, but
Fair.
for them.
Okay.
Well, y'all, we want to play one quick game with you because we recently got some fan feedback that people really love when we pitch TV shows on the podcast. And all of y'all have pitched storylines and pitched reboots. Y'all, the reason we put y'all together is because you are 3 of our rock star pitchers. Yes, bring back.
Yes, thank you, Victoria.
That is important.
Thank you, Victoria.
But we would love to know, if you had a magic wand and you could put together your dream comfort television for the fall 2020 slate, you know, if you could say, history be damned, we shot the perfect pilot. What is your pitch for the show we most need as a world right now? Yeah.
Okay, I got mine.
Okay.
It's okay. It's a sitcom where everyone is like Alf except for one character, and that's a person, and they're an alien.
Reverse
traveled to another planet. It's reverse Alf. They've traveled to another planet, and 'cause they wanted to escape this planet because it's so bad, and they go there, and then they're like the weird one.
Oh my God. And every episode they have to like try to avoid eating a cat. Kate.
Lauren, I cannot believe you just gave away this gold.
It's not for free. It's not for free. I have to make it. Yeah. So
It is going to sell tomorrow.
Well, Kevin, Michael, do you have any attempts after that?
Okay, so here's what I actually want. So Superman and Lois is, I think, going to premiere in January. All the shows, the Berlanti-verse shows, all shoot in Vancouver, and I think they're all going to be able to shoot. What I would like is Superman and Lois in its entirety, but instead of commercial breaks, we just literally see some of the worst people in our political landscape torn apart by horses.
I love that.
So it's just literally like a fun, flirty, romantic, like superhero show. But then we see like Stephen Miller's face just torn apart, and then they tune back in.
That's brilliant.
That's what I would like.
Amazing.
We're 2 for 2.
Yeah, this is all greenlit so far, in my opinion, and one of them is mine.
No pressure, Kevin, but we have 2 perfect pilots. What's gonna round out our lineup?
So mine is kind of cheating because it was semi already pitched by the star, but I couldn't stop thinking about it after this happened. Where I think now is the perfect time to bring back The Comeback with Valerie Cherish starring Pedro.
Yes, you win. Oh, the best show that has ever existed.
So, like, for 2 reasons. One, I think that show is so good at portraying the television industry at like seismic shifts in the way television was consumed and the way we watched it. And I think we're certainly going through that now. Like, imagine like Valerie Cherish trying to figure out what the hell a Quibi is, and like, and then. But the thing that really got me is that Michael Patrick King and Lisa Kudrow did some sort of Zoom reunion for charity during the early days of the pandemic. And they said that they thought about like what Valerie would be doing right now. And they said that she would be invited back for like a charity table read of a classic episode of That's It. And she would realize in real time as she's reciting the lines how problematic and like homophobic and racist and just like totally tone deaf this classic sitcom from the 90s is now. And then she would like go into a spiral trying to not be canceled. And I just think that's like a perfect idea for like how to take that show forward now.
Amazing.
I need it.
I changed my answer to Kevin's.
Me too.
Okay, you all got 100% on the quiz.
Yay!
Wow. I am like shook by how much I wish these were all real. I'm like mad because I want to watch them right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to gloss over Ken McGraw's pitch that the Alf reverse be called Ralph.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I like your thing of growing up, which is like food going backwards. It's like there's a lot happening. I also really want to watch The Comeback again now. I think I'm going to do that.
It's it holds up so well.
Is there anything during quarantine? Have you all rewatched anything that you're like, ooh, it doesn't hold up? Like, did you reach for comfort and find pain at all?
I rewatched all of Entourage, which I found comfort in.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be interesting to some, but I also did find that some of it doesn't hold up, which can be kind of, you can just guess. I mean, there's a few things that are, questionable. And word choices and things that you would never say now, but still fun to watch people move around LA while I'm stuck inside.
I mean, I've rewatched Golden Girls, which is very comforting to watch, especially during those early months of the pandemic. And it's not a novel observation that there are a lot of things that were as progressive as that show was in terms of talking about, LGBT culture and, sexual empowerment of women. There was a lot of really cringy stuff going on there too, but still kind of brilliant when you just think of it as a time capsule.
We love it. Shout out to my aunts who might be watching. They bought a Golden Girls shirt.
Oh, truly the best. I have rewatched many things, and the one thing that really stands out across the board is that I don't care how wholesome and kind the essence of the show is, it will say something so transphobic that you will want to die. Every show. It doesn't matter what.
Correct. Yeah.
Just the idea of transness is so foreign to the people who wrote these shows that it's truly wild to watch.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to bring it down, but
no, you're absolutely right. Like, I just got stuck in my thoughts because I was I've been rewatching Friends because HBO Max. Why? And yeah, the whole we stand for Kathleen Turner, but why? What's going on?
Yeah.
Kathleen
I
Turner.
remember thinking that was so funny when it aired. Like, I thought it was the funniest thing in the world when it aired, and now I'm just like, how could I have thought that?
Yeah.
Can I punch up an HBO Max billboard I saw?
Please.
Over here. There was. I don't know if you've seen these billboards, but they say they have everything. Like, they'll do like all the doctors that they have, and they'll show like all the different doctors from the different. My big problem is that the doctor's billboard starts with Joey from Friends, who played a doctor on a sitcom, and ends with the Kunal's character from Big Bang Theory. I'm like, and then it has some like actual doctor, like hospital doctors in the middle. I'm like, you need to order all of this to make it a joke that reads and ends with a fake doctor being Joey. I was like, this is the most confusing.
Yes, it has to end on the joke.
Yeah, it starts with the joke. It's like, we have everything, and it's like, from such and such to whatever. And I'm like, the fake doctor? I'm like, you have to know Friends. You have to know that he was a doctor on the show. It's like, there's so many levels. It's just, it doesn't work.
How dare they?
Well,
I get mad about now.
the only thing there's more levels to is our love for all of you. Thank you for being on the show. Kevin Fallon, Michael Hartney, Lauren Lapkus, TV experts. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
This was
you.
so fun.
Y'all are the best. They are the best TV tutors that you could have. Bye, y'all.
I learned Ralph. All three of those shows. Can't wait for them to be produced.
I can't get over the fact that we're just getting started. Like, we have so many great, amazing guests tonight. And truly, I believe in the secret, because the fact that we just got to talk TV with Kevin, Michael, and Lauren, like.
And you know what? I didn't even pay for the Katie Holmes movie version of The Secret, but I don't need to. I learned it.
I did not either, but our producer, Rodney Brazil, he did. And we may need to check in with him later to find out how that experience.
And we might need to Venmo as well. All right. That's good to know. But there's other topics besides television, which is what, my family members and teachers have been telling me for years. There's also our love of Broadway.
There is. That is the other subject I did well in school. Broadway and TV, my two best subjects. And how better to educate ourselves and prepare ourselves for a year of socially distant theater than with two Broadway stars themselves. Please welcome to the virtual stage, we've got Jeff Hiller and Sarah Chase.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Glasses.
Oh no, you put professor and I'm wearing a headband. What the hell is happening?
But we're all wearing glasses.
We're smart. Thank you guys for being here. Broadway's own Jeff Hiller, Broadway's own Sarah Chase.
Those are the best 3 months of my life.
I was there for almost 2.
Hey,
Combined, we've got almost a full semester of Broadway. Then we
almost qualify for Actors Equity Insurance between the two.
Ariel Gitlin's seen you both, and it's not like she's seeing every show.
Oh, I got a good headshot.
yeah. Y'all did a study abroad on Broadway. We love. And let's not forget, they may be here to talk Broadway, but they're TV stars too. So they've double majored here. We've got double majors.
Absolutely. But we wanted to talk to you, the youth of America. You can't keep a musical theater kid down. We've all tried. But moving forward in the school year, they will be doing productions. So we need your help. They're going to try to do them. Socially distanced middle school, high school, college productions.
I can tell you, as a faculty member, we are trying to do it, right? As a person who sits in faculty production meetings, somehow we're gonna do it. And I'm cheating a little bit because I want to pick your brain so I can bring it back to the next production meeting. So we did a little research, Kate and I, we found out what some of the most produced high school musicals are in the US of A. And we just assume that these 3 shows are going to get done this year, whether they should or not. And we want you to help us conceptualize how to pull it off socially distanced.
Great. I can do it. I can do it already.
All right, so we're going to Broadway to figure out how to make it work. So let's see what that first show is. You know it. You love it.
Now, is Les Mis Junior or the full Les Mis?
Well, at my school, we never did a junior. We only did the full show. So how do you do it? It's high school.
It's the themes of the French Revolution.
Well, I mean,
I mean, One Day More basically is them just singing it on Zoom in their own little window, right? Isn't One Day More just already a Zoom number?
Okay, that's a hot take. Where
You just have to put Madame and Monsieur Thénardier at the bottom of the screen because they're popping up from the below.
well, these could be on Zoom, on Google Hangout, or they could be on stage with everyone 6 feet apart. You know, this is up to you guys as directors, as faculty directors.
Maybe you could have certain students be the barricade, and they would have each a chair on the front and the back of their body, and they would stand between every other student. Wait, that wouldn't work. No, I think it would work. And they could all be 6 feet apart like that.
Okay, great. And that gives everyone a part. You know, they feel special.
Exactly. Put that on your resume.
I wouldn't hesitate. It would go there immediately. Sarah, thoughts on a socially distant Les Mis from your brilliant mind?
Yes, they should not do it at all. That's how they get around it.
Oh,
All right.
contrarian.
Professor Chase says we're not doing Les Mis. So out of respect for Professor Chase, we're going to move on to our next show. Another one of America's favorite high school musicals is
Mamma Mia.
Really?
The film that the children can connect to.
Oh, right. Nothing says high school like a woman who doesn't know who fathered her baby 20 years ago.
And the daughter reading the diary, the sex diary of the mother.
Right.
I was shook when I saw that it was so heavily produced all across the country.
And I said when we were planning this, well, that makes sense because you can race blind it. And Lauren reminded me, no, the entire conceit is that some of these people are genetically related, but we don't know which ones. Because personally, I forgot that it's not just an ABBA concert, but
That's probably what the teacher forgot too, right?
Yeah.
Sarah's going to be like, don't do this one either.
You stole my line, Jeff. You stole my line. I'm out.
But let's say for some reason, the PTA will only give you money to produce the musical if it is this musical. How do you make it work?
Okay. We got to think this through. Okay.
It's a hotel, so there's levels.
Mm-hmm.
They can each be in their own room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And also you could just first of all, not everybody gets a role in this one. The chorus is just very tiny. There's nobody like doing the big number on the dock. It's just one hot kid and one other hot kid, and they're dancing on either sides of the stage. I don't know why they're doing the turkey lurkey, but they are. And
the drama teacher comes in and says, this year we got to get real. The two hot ones, you're in.
I think we solved it, Sarah.
I do too.
Yeah, hot guys, turkey lurking. I'm all for it. All right, we got one more show for you to problem solve for us. This one is so intense, we needed to give you a clip. So.
Oh, I think I missed.
Hot, 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 sweat, sweet, wet, 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 red heat, hot, 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 wet, sweet.
It really is. It's a longer clip than maybe we needed.
Wow, that does not hold up.
I was always, whenever I watch this, even in the day, I was like, this doesn't seem sexy. They just seem like they're climbing on jungle gyms or something.
Yeah, that was Contact from Rent for our. If you don't remember that iconic scene in Rent, congrats.
I believe when I did see it, I was in high school. During that scene, two old people walked up the aisle and left. They said, "This is filthy," and they just left. But they're not wrong.
Yeah, they just meant the staging.
Yeah,
in the content.
It's one of those things where it probably would have been fixed in previews, but he died, so they just had to go with it. Too dark. Sorry. I do have a lighter story if you want to hear it. I was recently in a K-hole because, you know, it's a pandemic.
Right.
And a YouTube K-hole, not not a K-hole from drugs.
Thank you for clarifying.
And I was really into watching so many different versions of Another Suitcase in Another Hall, from Evita. Oh, Sarah, you'd sing the shit out of that. Anyhow,
I'm not going to disagree.
I really,
Am I going to?
oh my God, I really would want to hear that. Anyway, I found one sung by a high school chorale. And they're like, I don't expect my love affairs to last for long. And then the basses in the back are like, you'll get by, you've always have before. It's worth a quick goods.
That is terrifyingly reminiscent of when I was a junior in high school. We performed outdoors at the Oklahoma City Botanical Gardens.
Oh, you can still do that.
For some reason, they let me do that as my solo. And yeah.
Let's hear it.
I know, I'd love to hear you sing it too.
I'm not going to follow 10 seconds of Sarah Chase.
That was fake. That was fake singing.
I'm no fool. We do love the alto line in Evita. Emily, you are 100% correct. Well, Professor Chase, Professor Hiller, any last words of wisdom for our distant learning Broadway students? How do you think they can survive this semester? Or what do they have to look forward to on the other side?
Be nice.
Oof.
You want to take this one?
Yeah. Well, I think I can speak for both of us when I say, don't do it.
Don't do it. That was what I was going to say. I was like, that too dark?
Even if there's a vaccine, get something better. Do something better. You're not an essential worker. You are inessential.
You guys are being irrational. There is no vaccine for being a musical theater kid. It will continue to flourish.
Oh my God. Wow. Truly. Wow. Yeah, that's gonna, that shook me to my very core. But I appreciate your realness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, thank you for the Broadway that you've given us, and thank you for being on this show.
I think I would disagree with the thank you for the Broadway I've given.
Hey,
I was in the show for 5 seconds. Apparently everyone hated it.
hey, first date was great. I'll say it.
Loved it.
Thank you. No.
I thought it was good.
Got real weird.
I loved it.
This got real weird.
Well, Jeff, Sarah, thank you so much. And Ken McGraw wants to know, will you sing us out?
Sure.
I don't
Here's 16.
expect my love
My
affairs
love is to
last for long.
Wow.
Rodney is torturing you by keeping you in.
Yes, seriously.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We stan you both. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Kids, don't listen to them.
Yeah. What do they know? They don't. Stars of stage and screen. They've lost it. They've lost the thread. No, we stand. Be sure you're following Sarah and Jeff across all social media platforms. They're the best. And we got 2 more incredible guests coming up. Friends of the show and our artist for all of our original artwork. Please welcome to the stage Michael DeFrancisco and Benjamin Farha.
Together.
Shocking.
Same room.
Wow.
Yeah, you all are in the same Quarren pod. Is that what we're calling it? Quarren pods?
I like that term. We're in the same pod. We're neighbors. So we thought we'd share the screen.
Poddin'. We love it. So we're on to talk to you about a vitally important new archival resource that's available to the student learners. And we had you on one of our very early episodes to discuss one of the most important pieces of art ever created, and our first live stream ever was dedicated to it. I'm talking about the television show Smash. It is now available on Amazon Prime.
And, you know, being our Smash correspondents, anytime Smash is in the news, we're going to have to check in with you. So how are we feeling about Smash arriving on Prime? Have we checked in? What are thoughts, feelings, reactions? We need an official statement.
Well, I mean, I was blindsided by the news. Mike texted me to tell me, and I dropped my phone. And then when I went down to get my phone, I decided I'm down here. I better thank God. And I did. Wow, he said a prayer.
Wow. Can you get a little closer to your microphone because we need to hear thoughts? Yeah, exactly. You know, it's basically like the physical library might be closed at your school, but you can go online, Amazon. I said Amazon.
Mm-hmm. That's the official pronunciation.
Well, when you go on Amazon, that's Amazon, and you find Smash. I mean, once you're there shopping for the episodes that Lauren Lapkus recommended, you might as well watch Smash for free with Prime.
Absolutely. Why not? History is made at night.
History is made at night. Now, have you been returning to Smash for solace in these dark times? Has it been giving you joy? Are we revisiting it?
Honestly, no. For me, maybe for Ben.
I mean, I've not committed to a full rewatch, but now that I know it's possible,
okay.
You know, every time a Smash tune comes up on the shuffle while on my daily walk, I'm always thrilled, and my steps get a little bit quicker.
Like what song?
Yes. What is everyone's go-to Smash song?
Well, I mean, you start with "Let Me Be Your Star," always
obvious.
So, and then where would you go from there?
I'm not a huge "Let Me Be Your Star" stan. I would just dive right in, as I've said, probably every time we've ever talked about it. With they just keep moving the line, because that's really, you want to enter on the highest possible note, and for me, that's the pinnacle of the show.
Yeah, Victoria's siding with "Let Me Be Your Star." Ken McGraw says Jeremy Jordan and I played softball together. They are this tight.
Good to know. Now, let's be honest. The real reason we wanted to check in with you all is because I feel like Smash dropping on Amazon is a direct result of our podcast. I feel like we did the podcast. They decided to live stream a previously recorded concert that then we live streamed. And you're telling me it's a coincidence that then shortly thereafter Smash arrives on Amazon Prime?
No, there are no coincidences, especially at NBC Universal.
For sure not. Yeah, no, I mean, it's really all thanks to you guys at We Stand Together that, I mean, are you receiving thank you cards in the mail at this point yet from fans?
We are not.
And
honestly.
thank you for bringing that up, because that is a great way to support USPS, is to send us thank you notes. And, you know, folks, this is our next step. We need a Smash stamp.
We do. We need a Smash stamp. So there's a couple of things that I hope tonight bringing you on, because I felt like the third time is going to be the charm, right? Like 3 is the magic number. So if the 4 of us gathered together and talked about Smash a third time, I feel like Angelica Houston will reach out. Like that feels like what's going to happen next, right?
Your lips, man.
Yeah, I think that's a strong possibility.
My fear is, though, that something, because it's 2020, wires are going to get crossed, and I'm going to try to manifest Angelica, but I'm going to accidentally end up with Catherine McPhee. So what do I do? If I'm trying to manifest Angelica, but Catherine shows up on my doorstep, any advice for what to do in that scenario?
When Catherine shows up,
want to get rid of Catherine McPhee.
I suppose the first thing you could do is ask her if she has Angelica Houston's number.
Great
Okay.
point.
That's respectful.
I bet she does.
I would probably break into a Yolanda Hadid impression and hope that she thought that it was really Yolanda Hadid and she would run away.
I think it's perfect.
You know, I'm no McPhee McStan, but I gotta say, I think her sense of humor has improved ever since marrying David Foster. It's almost like she did the ultimate worst thing, but it took a burden off of her, you know?
It really did. It really did. Well, Mikey, Ben, thank you so much for popping in to give us your thoughts on this important Smash news. For those watching, please follow the Compass Rose Store on Instagram because Mike is the mastermind behind our beautiful original artwork, and you can get a little piece of your own by shopping his store. And
Bravo stuff, he's got Clue stuff, everything you're a fan of, he has it.
And be sure, if you haven't already, go check out the episode with Mike and Ben. If you're a Smash fan, you're going to love it. Pour a drink, buckle in, and go for the ride.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
We're obsessed. We stan you.
Have a smashing good time.
Ooh.
Fun fact, Ben played Angel in our college production of Rent, so he was in Contact. And Mikey and I were in the ensemble.
You were the two hot people. You were the Jeff Hiller School of Casting.
When I tell the story, yes. And you know who tells a great story?
I think.
All three of our next guests.
Please welcome to the stand stage. Is that something?
I've been saying that. I don't know. I keep trying to figure out what we say because it's not a Zoom room. I usually say welcome to the Zoom room in my classes, but this isn't a Zoom room.
No.
It's larger than that.
Stream stage.
The stream stage.
Gina Bloom, Katie Brodnick, and Angel Yao.
Yes. Three. Babe.
Sorry, I got your name wrong, Lobster Fart. My bad.
Yeah, changed my name. Excuse you.
I apologize when I'm wrong. Now, we have you ladies on the show to talk about probably the most important topic that there ever could be. And one of the best parts of going back to school is your crushes. Who is hot? Who do you just have a thing for and you can't even say why? And each of you on our pod talked about crushes, talked about love, talked about cute boys and girls. So we just wanted to revisit, has this worldwide pandemic affected your crush, both your crush being the person, your crush on them?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So when last we spoke, Gina, you were really hard on Lakeith Stanfield. Has that
always
flourish?
That continues to flourish. Absolutely. I do have to say that Lakeith is getting backburner this weekend because the new Bill and Ted movie is coming out, and I am rekindling my love of Alex Winter. I always love.
Wow.
I always love anyone that has an obvious charisma deficit in a duo. So like Andrew Ridgeley in Wham, or anyone who is just not the star, but they're within two people, I automatically love the charisma underdog. So Alex Winter.
So you're a huge fan of mine.
Oh, you guys, stop it! You're so evenly matched. It's hard to crush on either of you because you're so evenly matched. There are duos where it's like 49-51. I won't tell you which one of you is which, but Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, they're not. It's not even close. It's like 80-20 at best. On Alex Winter's best day, he's like maybe 20% of that duo. But like, that makes me love him. I just want to wrap him up in his little flannel shirt and just like hold him. That's what I'm feeling today.
I get that. So does Alex Winter outrank Lakeith at this moment?
This weekend he does. Alex Winter is getting my $20 because that's the Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's $20 on streaming. I did not pay that money for for King of Staten Island, for instance. I was not going to pay $20 to see that movie, but absolutely for Alex Winter, I will give him and I hope he gets $17 out of my $20 for it.
Did you watch the movie he directed on HBO, Showbiz Kids?
I didn't know he directed a movie called Showbiz Kids. That sounds.
He directed a documentary about other children of showbiz.
Well, there you go. I have HBO Max. I'm gonna have to try and find it, and I will do that. Absolutely. This is my weekend of Alex Winter. In the dead of summer, it is winter in my heart. And Alex Winter.
I love it. I'm shipping you. I hope the next time we meet, you're Gina Winter.
I hope so. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah, that's that's my take. Lakeith, you will always have my heart, but Alex Winter, you have my heart this weekend.
I love that. I love that. Now, Katie,
Hello.
folks listening to our show, they will connect you to your standing of Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That's correct.
How are you feeling about Jennifer Love Hewitt these days? Are you still in stan with her? What's going on?
Look, I'll always love Jennifer Love Hewitt because her evidence of her being in the 90s is constantly present. So Jennifer, as well as America, has decided that she peaked in the mid-90s and they don't want to hear anything else from her, and that's fine. That's fine with Jennifer, and that's fine with us.
Okay. Now, friends of the show, listeners of the show might not know this, but Katie did one of our very first live shows before we were a podcast.
Oh, yes. I was waiting to talk about this.
She presented a thesis that keeps me up late at night.
I'm glad.
Can you tell everyone about your original thesis for...
Let me explain. So, without giving too much away, I want to fuck a garden. Now, it might sound crazy or nuts or, it doesn't make sense. But when you watch a specific show called Gardener's World, it's an educational show about how to use your garden to the best of your ability. And it's always alluding to fucking. I'm going to say, here we have Monty Don. He is the sexiest man over 50 I've ever seen. And I want to do him left, right, and center. I mean, look at that fork. He's presenting, and I'm accepting. He shows you his entire garden, and you're like, let me see the rest of it. It's incredible. It's so relaxing. It's so smooth. His voice, I just want to be fucked by his voice all night, and I am. My husband knows we put on Monty Don, and that's it. Let's get crafting, Monty. Give me that glue. I love him so much. So as I was explaining, Monty will go through a garden and show you how to dig up things and plant things. And when he puts his fingers in that soil, excuse me, we have an expert and someone who really knows his way around some dusty brown shit. Not saying that that's what I need in a gardener, but I need to be fucked by somebody who's comfortable using his hands regularly, constantly, thoroughly, and has no fear of whatever he might touch.
I would say your presentation has been by far the most explicit thus far on the show, but at the same time the most wholesome completely.
Yeah, I didn't know there were any ways to be subtle in this expression because you see a garden grow and you're like, there's my vagina, come and get it. It makes sense. It makes sense. He's the bee to my bud.
All right. And, Lobster Fart, we had you on, talked about perhaps a more traditional crush.
Maybe.
And we're not saying that's better or worse, but you are a huge Backstreet Boys stan.
I am.
Has it changed in quarantine? Have you dropped Backstreet Boys?
Well, I feel like they are, the crush I had was Nick Carter, just because our ages was closest, practical. But I feel like he is a little bit canceled. I've read some stuff, so I hesitate to really still hold my crush. But since our last recording, I've just been listening to their music again and just kind of falling in love with that teenage loneliness, horniness kind of.
They're showing you the meaning of being lonely.
Yeah.
Thank God.
What do you think of this picture I chose? This is a more recent photo, obviously. What is your favorite era to have a crush on them?
My era?
Yeah, well, yeah. You have a crush, yeah. That's what you think, to year 2000?
I will probably say, let's see, I have to do some math.
Okay. Piece of paper and pencil.
Yeah. Probably, well, okay, easy. Okay, because they have an album named Millennium, so 2000, right? So then 1999.
A hot year for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that was there. That was probably when I went to their concerts with my dad, as we talked about. And that is when Nick Carter had a solo song. It used to be called Heaven in Your Eyes, but I think there are some weird religious things, so it's called I Need You Tonight now.
Same thing to me. I don't see a difference.
But yeah, I've been listening to that song every night before bed because I can't sleep. I just sleep at 2 a.m. for no reason, and it just brings me back to, my CD player and my Lion King bed sheets.
Cool. So any crushes emerge in quarantine? We heard about Alex Winter taking over, but for collectively, do we think who has emerged as crush worthy in shelter in place and facing the new year?
I am completely crushing on soccer dads.
Wow.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
We know about soccer moms.
Is that like a
We get it.
nostalgia thing because like there's no soccer?
No, it's so much. It's like, wow, look at that hot man. Wow, he procreated. Wow, he's running through space. I haven't seen people. Look, he cares about his child. That's compassionate. And he's hot. Why aren't we talking about hot soccer dads?
Okay, just to back up, Katie, do you mean professional soccer players who are also fathers, or
No,
do you mean
dads
I
taking
mean
their kids to
regular
soccer
old
practice.
dad, isolating with their son, playing by themselves. I, as myself isolating, spying on them with my own son, keeping social distance, looking far away, and saying, I want to do that, stranger. That's what I'm talking about, guys.
Okay, cool. I love that. So we should mention that Katie is a mother.
I'm happily married. But I do want to fuck these strangers. There's nothing like it. We talk about soccer moms, we talk about professional men, we talk about terrible coaches, but do we talk about just like the great old dads that are speaking a language I don't understand, but I'm willing to learn, and playing soccer with their kids? I want that.
I do too. I'm sold. I never got to play soccer as a kid, and like my parents hated sports, so I never, and like I was a nerd, and like I never got that experience. So I now retroactively want to fuck all the dads.
I say, since we can't do it,
sounds wrong.
Well, just watch them all.
We should have had Kevin Fallon stick around and talk about this, because we did a whole episode about DILFs with Kevin just a few weeks ago.
Oh, God bless them. They're doing the Lord's work.
I think the problem that quarantine has had, and forgive me for getting a little serious here on our fun little pop culture show, is that we've gotten a lot of like short-term crushes on men who show the baseline level of competency.
Oh, that's been for years.
For like a day, but like it's been accelerated in quarantine. Like all of a sudden, like people wanted to fuck like Cuomo because like he wasn't as bad as other people.
That was sad.
Yeah,
that was a moment in crushdom.
So
that almost made me give up on crushing, because like I was like, I could twist his nipple rings for like a day, and then like, no, what was I thinking? This isolation is getting to me. I cannot do that.
I think it's like
can't stop.
it's like the opposite for me. I feel like I've been, like having sleep problems, but my dreams are very active, and it's kind of the first time ever where I'm like really making up people in my head. Like, these people do not exist, and I don't know if I'm like meshing up like childhood friends or like TV. But in all my dreams, I'm like kind of single. I'm also married, but in my dreams, I'm kind of single.
It doesn't matter in quarantine. Relationships don't matter.
But I'm kind of also in high school, so it's like a lot of high school people I'm like kissing and like falling in love with. Does that matter? Age doesn't matter in your dreams.
Remember bull nuts?
So, ladies, before we have to say goodbye, I'm just, for all of our distance learners, if you have one piece of advice for our students that are going back to school dealing with crutches, what is your piece of advice? Having, being expert experts in the art of crushing, what can you share? What can our students keep in mind this back to school season?
Anything can be an aphrodisiac, be it a flower, a water pitcher, a soccer ball, a child running up to his father for a hug.
Not a child.
Nothing. No, not to fuck the child, but they can create inspiration. I feel like just like don't limit yourself because we're all so internally struggling. Just let yourself imagine a good fuck. Children.
Right.
Not children, you children students.
Katie Brodnick. Thank you, Katie Brodnick. Thank you, Gina Bloom. Thank you, Lobster Fart, aka Angel Yao. Amazing, amazing crush science.
Wow, I am always and forever in awe of how Katie can be so sweet and so thirsty at the same time.
Multitudes.
Well, speaking of crushes, I'm so excited because two of my crushes are coming back on the show. We kicked off tonight with the incredible Lady Lightning, the geniuses behind our theme song, and they're here to perform one of their own original numbers. Let's get Lady Lightning back on the stream.
Hey!
Oh my gosh. All right, Lady Lightning is so hot. We're going to give them the whole stage. We're going to get out of your way.
You're too sweet. You're freaking smoking, and I love you, and I miss you. I'm gonna hug you for 45 minutes when I see you again. We just had a little technical difficulty after a whole hour. All of a sudden, our computer shut down. So,
check.
I think we're okay now.
Check. Check.
Of course. Yeah.
We're good?
We're good. Hopefully, it doesn't do that again. We're just gonna play a song.
Hopefully, all the way through.
Yeah. We're gonna play your favorite, Lauren. This is a song called Blame. Again, we're Lady Lightning. You can find us Lady Lightning Music. Uh-oh, got me waiting while you messing around. Too drunk to make the domino where it comes down. So this is how you do me. Have to take my crown. I burn this popper down. Oh wait, now I'm leaving and you're back in your place. I get the love you feel when you make your sad face. I love every part of you, but you never change. I disgrace. Oh, what a waste.
Rolling the dice when the going gets tough. We'll just blame it on the bad luck.
You're showing my hand and I'm calling your bluff. But we'll just blame it on the bad luck. Uh-oh, cut your book right before we begin. Oh no, play too rough and only one of us wins. 'Cause when I'm out, then you're in such a sin.
Well, it seems to me, it seems that we have stitched up all the threads. Don't you threaten me? Last line you read will be you're free. Yeah. Rolling the dice when the going gets tough. We'll just blame it on the bad luck.
Showing my hand and I'm calling your bluff. But we'll just blame it on the bad luck. We can just blame it on bad luck. Blame it on the bad luck. That way no one can say we just gave up. We'll just blame it on the bad drew a line in the sand.
Now you're forcing my hand.
All this I stand.
Just wait to see where I land.
You couldn't wait for this.
No, I wouldn't waste your kiss.
Leave this relationship go.
I'd let this die for you.
That's why your pride would do.
It takes both sides to feel. Rolling the dice when the going gets tough. We'll just blame it on the bad luck.
Showing my hand and I'm calling your bluff. But we'll just blame it on the bad luck. We can just blame it on bad luck. Blame it on the bad luck. That way no one can say we just gave up. We'll just blame it, blame it, blame it on the bad, bad.
Blame it on the bad.
Blame it on the bad, bad.
Yes!
Wow.
Wait,
Thank you.
I love this so hard. This is truly, 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 no joke, one of my all-time favorite songs. And I feel so spoiled every time I come to a Lady Lightning concert and y'all play it.
You were the sweetest. Thank you so much. I love getting to play that for you every time.
It's not a joke when it actually was my number 3 most played song of 2019. And when I got my Spotify year-end review, I was like, do they send a copy of this? How scared will Gracie and Tony be?
I mean, no.
We got the report. Yeah, no.
Oh, did they send a copy to us?
No.
No.
That's so sweet. That's honestly the best compliment ever. That means so much that you like that.
Yeah,
song.
we ultimately hope people listen to our songs.
Yes,
a
that's
lot.
the goal.
Yeah, but there's a difference between, I'm always worried, I'm like, yeah, you want them to listen, but do you want them to have your phone number and address too? That's, just.
Yeah, why not? Nobody has the door code, right? So
yeah,
good.
it's fine.
You never know with Lauren. I'll say that. She's sometimes in your house and you don't know it.
Lauren
very
can
good.
Lauren can come over. Lauren can come over anytime.
Thank you so much. I will say Caitlin gave me access to her apartment, and I have been there when she hasn't been.
But it's all good. It's all good. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Lady Lightning, for being on the show tonight. Thank you for our incredible theme song. Everybody, follow Lady Lightning. They're incredible. And listen to them. Their album is available. So go listen to the whole thing. If you like that, they got a lot more, y'all.
Also, if people just want their own theme song, without having a podcast or anything, if people are just sitting at home, man, I wish I had a theme song, just hit us up.
Yeah, who doesn't need their own theme song?
Yeah,
Just in
we'll
general.
write personal theme songs.
Amazing. You heard it here, folks. Lady Lightning doing your personal theme song. Slide into those DMs. Gracie, Tony, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Are you ready for the second half of the show?
I am so ready. So, Caitlin, I just need to say something before we bring on our next guests. I want to put this out in the universe. The Smith sisters, being Lauren Ashley Smith, Mariah Smith, and Rachel Smith, they have become part of the very fabric of our podcast because it's like Pokemon. We've collected all 3 sisters, and I am so excited to have them all here for the first time together.
Who knows what's going to happen?
I don't know what's going to happen, but let's bring them on and see what happens.
Mariah, Lauren Ashley, and Rachel Smith.
Hello.
From Smith Sisters Live, of course, on Sirius XM.
Yes.
It's us.
How are you guys?
I'm so happy to be here. It's always a blessing to be in the company of the We Stand Together colleagues. Love to see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we know you guys are huge stands, both sometimes of all the same things, sometimes different things, but always standing.
Yeah, I will say that I'm wearing a Black Panther shirt because we stand Black Panther. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I can't get those people out of my...
Lauren and I stand, Rachel at this point almost stand Real Housewives of Potomac, and one of the housewives has a parrot named T'Challa, and so that's what I believe this shirt means.
I was like, oh wow, she really goes hard for Monique's parrot. But then I realized that it was derived from an actual blockbuster history-making film.
Exactly.
Now, we want to frame our conversation with y'all with a tweet from a friend of the show, an earlier guest, Lauren Lapkus. If we can bring up Lauren's tweet, a couple years ago, she tweeted, "Older siblings are the original influencers. When I was little, my brother said sausage pizza was gross, and I didn't eat it again for 20 years. And so this is sort of our door that we're going to walk through, because since you are all three such huge stans, sometimes of the same thing, sometimes of the different things, we want to get to the bottom of like who started what stans. Like which sister started what? What?
You about to start a fight?
It might be a fight, because there are many times when we're like, I told you that a month ago, a year ago. Why is it taking you this long? So this is blood.
Right. Well, it was in pieces of media that we know that you are all at different. At least one of you stands. We'll see where it goes. So our first is True Blood. Now, who's standing first?
Me,
Lauren.
That's gonna be Lauren or Rachel. Lauren, okay.
That's Lauren. I don't know, Lauren. Did you experience Sookie Stackhouse novels pre-True Blood? Or
no,
post?
I started reading them after the books, but I would have watch parties for the show with our cousin who would come over and watch it.
Right.
And I will say I'm paused on season 5, episode 2 as we speak.
I could have said earlier, for those, I assume our fans all know this, Miss Sisters. Lauren Ashley is the eldest, Rachel's middle, Mariah's youngest. And we don't have to say ages, but what are the differences?
2.5 years apart.
Okay, wow. So
that wasn't clear. We're all 2.5 years apart.
Getting it done in 5. Type 5. Three sisters. So this one we all agree, eldest Lauren Ashley paved the way with True Blood, and then both of you got on board?
Yes. Fully.
Like
Fully
immediately, or did it take convincing, or was it an easy sell?
This one was immediately for me, and as I became obsessed with it, Lauren then was like, you have to read the Sookie Stackhouse novels, because anything Lauren reads, I stand directly behind it. So she had all of the novels. She lent me the books. I think I still have some of the books, but it became a progression of obsession. So it was quick after. I don't know how far after Mariah got it.
It took me a little bit because I scare easily, and I was terrified that the show would terrify me. And in some ways it did, but I've become, sort of numb to it all.
Excellent. A group of people that's not numb to it all is the cast of Grey's Anatomy. Now, who stand first?
Lauren.
Again.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Lapkus is 2 for 2.
We're proving Lapkus's thesis thus far. Now,
I mean, she is a scholar.
She is. She is truly a scholar. Now, again, same question. Was it an easy sell to get Rachel and Mariah on board? Did it take convincing with this one?
So Rachel has still never watched it. Mariah is a longtime private practice viewer. And so I would be like, how are you watching the spinoff of Grey's Anatomy, but never having seen a frame of Grey's Anatomy? And she only came to Grey's Anatomy as recently as the pandemic. So this is she's still in her first intro to Meredith and Company.
Hey, listen, I've done a rewatch of my initial watch already. I've seen some episodes upwards of 7 times. I feel like I'm in it.
What is an example of an episode you've seen 7 times?
The musical episode.
You are now in double quarantine.
I love it.
am trapped.
I love it.
Trapped. Wait.
Brickman is a co-stan.
Co-stan.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Carrie Bradshaw, and I, we will sing through the soundtrack as many times as it takes to get to whatever destination when we're in a car.
I mean, I'm halfway there. The minute I put it on in my little Jeep, I know that I'm full gone.
Listen, wait, true story. For any actors watching this, when I need like emotional prep, I listen to Bailey do Wait. Bailey is my emotional prep song.
Her little hand going up. I can't do it.
Oh my God. That's my truth. Wait, so I have a question. Rachel, I feel like you have really good taste. Why have you not joined the stand-up yet?
I will say that I watched Grey's Anatomy up until 2006, which is when I started college. Like, I remember freshman year of college watching and staying up to date. I don't know what happened. I truly fell off of TV in general. Like, I just do not watch and consume TV the same way my sisters do. So I don't know what happened. I really don't, but they're giving me a lot to think about in the last 6 months because they are writing for grades.
I will disclose something that maybe I don't have permission to disclose, but we are in a very active Grey's Anatomy text.
Yes.
I heard.
Yes.
And at one point, one of them, Lauren or Mariah, referenced it, and they were like, well, in the Grey's chat. And I was like, what chat are you talking about? And Mariah goes, if you watch it, we might let you in.
It's tough, though. It is cutthroat. Before we let Mariah in, I asked Lauren if she's current. Like, we're not going to play around and have someone only watch.
Exactly. I didn't know that. That's amazing. I appreciate it.
Listen, I don't have time to be careful with your feelings and spoilers, okay? We got to be current, folks.
You got to check out the TikTok I sent through last night. Of Jesse Williams being a part of a home invasion. It is the best.
It's the most confusing thing I've ever seen, and I don't know what I watched. I watched it 20 times in a row, and I still don't understand.
It's the best.
Shout out to the group chat. So the last one that we have on the docket is a little different now. One Direction.
Ooh, that's Rachel
This
all
is
day.
fully me. I remember April 1st, 2012. I experienced What Makes You Beautiful, the video and song at the very same time. As soon as Harry Styles came onto the screen, I paused it and immediately texted, called, emailed Mariah and said, you have to get on board. She got on board immediately. Lauren refuses and will never be a 1D stan.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me. Now, I will admit, pre-core, I didn't care. I didn't actually dislike, but I was very neutral. But there are so many people that I love and respect who love them. This Rachel and Mariah being among them, friends of the show, Victoria and Ariel. And so I was like, if all of these smart, powerful women love this band, let me give them a second chance. And y'all,
it's a lot.
I have fallen in stan with Harry in particular.
Who's your second? Who's your number two?
Niall.
We'll take it. We'll
Good
receive
answer.
it. The only
Niall
answer.
is my number one. Niall is my number one. Harry is my number two.
Harry, I have fallen in love with because he's so clearly in love with one of his bandmates, and it's not reciprocated, and I feel for him so deeply.
I know Rachel has thoughts on that.
Yes, I have many thoughts. And at one point, Mariah sort of fell off of 1D. And in the last few years, she'll send me things that she'll be like, did you see this? And I'm like, I saw it 10 years ago. Like, what is wrong with you? And she's like, I just saw it. It's crazy. I'm like, what happened? What happened?
I know. I'm not proud. I'm not proud of it. It's just, it's a cause of who I am.
I'm still like recovering from playing you that clip of Niall on X Factor a couple weeks ago on the podcast.
It was scary.
That was great.
It triggered a lot of feelings within me. And I wish I charge everyone who's listening and everyone whose face I can see right now to look up all of the boys' audition videos from X Factor. It's all very bad.
The chat is making me laugh so hard right now.
Oh my God, I can't see the chat.
It's only Zane and Ariel asking, are you okay? And Legina just saying no.
Oh my God. Let me see. Oh my God.
Like, you get a chance to come on and explain yourself in a half hour. So something that you maybe besides One Direction, besides Grey's, that one or two of you are into that you're still trying to get the other to stan?
I feel like Love Island is something that Mariah brought it into our purview. When Mariah brought us into her purview, Lauren and I got directly on board, and then something happened where I eclipsed both of them. Like, I started recruiting other people, like a Jehovah's Witness, and I got 20 plus people to be on board with Love Island, and Lauren and Mariah just are like, Mariah has never finished a full season.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear that last year I watched the entirety of a 2,000 episode season of Love Island in 2-minute increments on YouTube. So I watched entire episodes in 90-second increments. If that is not being on board, I don't know what is. I watched it every day, basically the night after it aired in the UK. I watched Scamming Bootlegger on YouTube's clips, and she only could do it in 90-second portions.
I will say one thing that I think that I haven't quite gotten my sisters onto is there's a YouTuber, Molly Burke, who is a blind YouTuber, and she's amazing because her lifestyle is so wild. She's from Toronto. She lives in LA with her mom. Her mom just moved out. Her boyfriend just moved into the apartment. Her mom inexplicably is living separate from the father, and they're still together. It's an amazing journey, and there are guide dogs, there are kittens, there are organizational tips. There are so many things to take away from this YouTube channel that I urge everyone to follow and seek out Molly Burke.
Organizational tips.
None of it's making sense.
I have one other question. You know, for any of our listeners, you know, I know you may have disagreements, but it feels like the Smith sisters are a very supportive, well-oiled sibling machine. Do you have any advice on, like, for anyone in a sibling relationship where, like, maybe they can't find common ground, maybe they can't find stands together? Any advice on, like, how to cultivate a common stand?
I say I will say, so my answer to your last question is that there isn't anything I can think of, because eventually I will get them on board with what I've evangelized about. There is no losing for me. And my tactic is that I try to find the right moment. So I'll say, do I have your attention to take you through X, Y, and Z? If I don't have your attention, I'm not going to do it. I wait till I have their absolute attention for my full-fledged 360 approach, which is usually my commentary, links, GIFs, clips, and written material.
This is true.
That is very, very true. That is very, very true. And that's my downfall, where I'll just throw it at anyone at any given moment. If I'm in the moment, the stand moment, I need everyone to get on board, and it's a tornado effect.
Yeah.
And they're rarely on board, so I have to go elsewhere. But Lauren has a great approach.
I'm a sleeper cell. I'm okay if you're not on it with me, because I know the journey is correct, and eventually when it comes to you, you'll know you are in the wrong.
Wow, we have three very different approaches. We have the, like, have the attention, have the plan. If they're not doing it for you, go elsewhere and trust in yourself. Wow, I love it.
They all work, and you guys are all amazing. Catch them on Radio Andy, Sirius XM, Smith Sisters Live tomorrow, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
AM. Thank you so much, Smith Sisters. We stand you.
We stand you so hard. We love all of you.
We love you.
We stand.
We stand. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, Mariah's laughing.
I just need to say something really quick before we bring on our next incredible act.
Okay.
Rachel, on the episode Rachel was in, we did a whole, like, British invasion theme, and she said that she identified as spiritually British.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I identify as spiritually a Smith sister. I know I can never actually legally or technically be a Smith sister, but I've never felt so a part of a family I didn't know.
You know, we here at We Stand University use the Grey's Anatomy definition of sisters, which is just women you're around. So we are all sisters.
We're all sisters. But up next, we're going to be talking to some brothers.
Energy in here. Please welcome Ken McGraw, Doug Wydick, and Howard Hendricks Powell.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yo!
Oh! Energy shift!
You stand! We stand!
We stand!
We're
standing!
Stand!
Wow. This is from for PE.
We just came from PE.
That's right. The only subject we get an A in.
Sorry, two of your names now. We have Jock Ken McGraw and Big Parma.
Yeah.
And of course, Howard Hendricks Powell. And you guys are here to talk to us about a really important topic, which is male role models. Because I mean, these could be for anyone, a child of any gender, but these are men you can look up to, something that we don't have enough of in this world.
Yeah.
So,
And we felt like bringing you together. You're like, Ken and Doug were on the show talking about toxic masculinity, a topic they are experts in, having co-authored Toxic Masculinity, the musical. And we thought about Howard. Howard was on our show talking about brothers and sisters. And we were like, little brothers, this makes sense. So we wanted to put y'all together to tackle this important issue.
We're happy to be here. We're happy to be here.
We asked you each for a male role model before the show, and Ken, you hit us up with your all-time hero, The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. My question is, if you are looking for any type of male role model, when you look at The Rock, how can you say, how could you not? First off, he comes from like the school of he's never had an easy road. He was supposed to be a professional football player, didn't work out, and then he went into professional wrestling, and then he's like, okay, and then he was successful, and then he's like, I could retire now, but then he's like, I want to be an actor, and then he was in the Scorpion King, and then that didn't work out, and then he was just like, no, I can do this, and then he was the Tooth Fairy, and he's like, no, I got this, and then he became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and now he is a tequila alcohol empire owner. He is he's the most paid star in Hollywood. You can't not, like, this guy produces. He's like producing TV shows. He might be president one day, and I think that's a true rag to riches story right there.
Wow.
Well said. Well said.
And I would do anything for him.
Do you stick by the golden standard of The Rock, or do you bounce between Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Dwayne Johnson?
Well, when I was growing up, he was The Rock, and then when he became my hero, he was Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and in 10 years, he'll be my president.
Yeah.
I just call him the Scorpion King. People know what I'm talking about.
That's amazing. Now, Doug, you gave us a different flavor. Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I love Paul McCartney. First off, shout outs to men who rock a brown hair their whole life. No, I love Paul McCartney. He's a Beatle. He's a living legend. And I'm just I love the idea, like, who's a living legend? Paul McCartney. And, he's a vegetarian. He wrote Let It Be. He wrote Hey Jude. He's one of the most prolific songwriters of all time. And he just seems like a kind person. Sure, he's got a big ego, but who doesn't? We're all performers. Love Paul McCartney. From Liverpool, but he's Liverpoolian. So there you go. Love Paul.
Now, who is he married to these days? Because, of course, famously Linda McCartney, longtime partner. Then Heather Knowles, the weird model.
Yeah, I think he might still be with the model.
He's, I think, with a different model. I think he calmed down.
Yeah. I know he's happy. And so I just want Paul to be happy. Because every time I see a photo of Linda McCartney, my eyes tear up.
Yeah, it is sad. I love Stella and all her designs for Adidas.
Yeah, Stella, yeah. Oh, Stella is his daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did a great job fathering multiple children and marrying multiple models. We love it. And Howard, you hit us with something I would say is kind of in between.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he's a great role model. I have a lot to say about MBJ for you. So I'll start by saying, has anyone been manifesting lately?
Yeah.
Good. I don't know why I asked that. That just popped into my head. Anyways, Michael B. Jordan. He's a great role model for young kids, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. I would say. No, I'm not talking about the basketball player. I'm talking about the all-American heartthrob, star of the Creed franchise, and villain in the Oscar-nominated film Black Panther. There's nothing that this man can't do. Michael B. Jordan is a fashion icon for such high-profile fashion brands like Coach. Now, you may be thinking, is this actor just a pretty face? No. He's an activist who's been at the forefront of the Black Lives Matter movement, But that is all irrelevant and not the reason why I think young people should look up to him. Which brings me to my thesis, if you'll allow me. People should look up to Michael B. Jordan because he's basically me. Yes, me. And I'm like the benchmark for young, hip role models. When he looks in the mirror, he's looking at me. We can't tell the difference. Michael B. Jordan is over 6 feet. Well, so am I. I'm even taller. Michael B. Jordan plays a comic book villain, Killmonger. Well, I've been called a villain by those closest to me, IRL. Now I know what you're thinking. African American ? African American ! But I'm also half white, so I can appeal to right-wing youths as well. I'm the bridge. Michael B. Jordan is just a cliff. I'm the road. Michael B. Jordan is just a pothole. So yes, Caitlin and Lauren, and all of we stand together to answer your question. Michael B. Jordan is the best role model for young people because he's basically Howard Hendricks Powell.
Wow.
Does the B stand for basketball?
I have no idea what the B stands for.
Because this one does.
Ken, we keep trying to tell you it's a different guy.
Different Michael Jordan.
Yeah. There's
I feel
Michael
overdressed.
A. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan.
Got it. I like them both.
They're both great. They're both great.
Michael B. Jordan. He be Jordan around.
Michael be talented.
Yeah, he was the hero of Black Panther. I'll tell you that much.
So any advice to the young boys growing up, going to school, how can they flourish in today's society?
Let themselves be bullied. Yeah. Let it come to you. Yeah, let it happen.
Let
Don't
it
fight
happen. Don't fight it.
Don't fight it. If you fight it, you become a chauvinist. If you accept it, you become a nice guy.
Interesting theory.
Jock and McGraw?
Take the best parts of all your heroes and make it your own and put that into the world.
Oh, wow. A surprisingly earnest response.
Yeah.
And Big Parma?
Sure. Listen deeply. Don't just kind of wait for your moment to respond to someone. If you really listen to them, you'll realize that maybe you don't need to be talking as much as you are, and you should be listening more.
Wow. Some real wisdom for the young men.
Also, burn it all down. Men have a lot of fucking work to do.
So, young men and boys, preemptively cancel yourself.
Yep.
That's a good
go to
start.
therapy. Preemptive therapy.
Go to therapy and cancel yourselves.
Take walks.
Count to 10.
All great tips and tools.
Wow. Well, thank you, Jock Ken McGraw, Big Parma, and Howard Hendricks Powell for inspiring the young men. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh!
Wow. I didn't realize how much Michael B. Jordan was like Howard Hendricks Powell, but now I see it.
Now I know. Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Nor do I want to.
I never want to stop. That was a beautiful tone shift. We went hard in two directions, and I loved them both.
We loved those men, and please check out my boys Big Parma and Jock Ken McGraw in the musical Toxic Masculinity whenever we can return to the outside.
Yeah, follow them on Instagram, and my girl Caitlin directed it, so it's high quality entertainment.
Yes, and we will be doing a social distancing version for kids.
Yes, Jeff Hiller has agreed to choreograph. It's just a lot of turkey lurkey.
I have to chime in. It's me, producer Rodney. I think now is the time to create the junior version of toxic masculinity.
We need
that can be social distanced.
It is pretty easy because it is just two men, and they were mostly 6 feet apart the whole show. Ken and Doug, now that you've logged off from StreamYard, please start cutting together the
junior version
that just takes out some sexual references, and then I think we're good to go.
Well, you know, if the fact that Mamma Mia is being produced at high schools all around the country says anything, they might not have to.
Yeah, yes. So the kids got to learn sometime.
I will say my high school did hair and Equus, so plenty of high schools are willing to go there.
Yeah, but we're willing to go as young as 3rd grade.
Okay. For 3rd grade, maybe we do need some edits. But only maybe.
We're keeping it male, which is unusual for us, with our next guest.
Please welcome to our virtual stage, Brady O'Callahan.
Love to keep it male all the time.
Before you get canceled, we wanted to be on the show to talk about probably the most important school subject there is, because it's the most important thing there is, Dolly Parton.
Yes. And Dolly Parton, you know, with Dolly Parton, you get music appreciation and you get civics. You get both.
Yes, absolutely.
There she is. She's gorgeous. You love her. Now, Brady, we felt a responsibility to bring you on to talk about Dolly because, unfortunately, Dolly has been getting some flack lately, but that's only because she's been being a great human being. And we just wanted to hear, we felt like we couldn't just tell our listeners and our viewers what we thought. We had to bring you in as our country music super stan and expert. We wanted to get your take on what's been going on and the fact that she's trending.
Sure. So I think Dolly is a wonderful, beautiful human being, obviously, all the time. I love that she came out and pretty much outright said Black Lives Matter. That's great. It's great. Would I have loved for her to have said this years ago? Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, country music is this weird area where artists feel like they need to tread lightly because they feel like their fan base, you know, won't be very receptive to progressive messages and things like that. So a lot of people opt to stay out of it. And to her credit, she's no longer staying out of this one, which, you know, that can't really be said for a majority of popular country music acts.
I mean, I think she's got to go strong because, you know, she has everyone over a barrel. What are they going to do? Stop listening to Dolly Parton? I mean, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, for
good
me,
luck.
like personally, it ain't Christmas until Dolly sung to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get through the holidays without listening to the Kenny and Dolly Christmas album.
Well, you haven't tried.
Because I want to live. Like, I don't.
Yeah, we are not advocating that you try. You shouldn't try.
Yeah, that would be self-harm. So we asked you, Brady, what is your favorite thing about Dolly that is not her music?
Yes, which it's hard to pick because there's a million different things. But one thing that I absolutely adore about her is that she's very unapologetic and confident in many areas, even specifically how she looks and presents herself. She, you know, tells the story of how she kind of found her aesthetic, where she saw the local tramp walking down the street with bleached blonde hair, red lips, and tight-fitting clothes. And she, as a child, would tell everyone around her, "Isn't this woman beautiful? She's gorgeous." And everyone would say she's trash. But Dolly just remembered that image and was like, I don't know. I think she's beautiful, and I guess I want to look like her all the time.
Yeah.
And so she did.
She wanted to grow up to be trash, and joke's on her because she's the opposite. But I agree. You know, she's very forward thinking. You know, I'd say within the last 5 years, there's been a real kind of like feminist take back of like self-empowerment of like, I'm going to look like how I look. If that's extremely feminine and sexual, then that's me. But she's been doing that for literally 50 years.
Yep. She, yeah, constantly big hair, constantly painted face. She's also like very, like she has a great sense of humor about everyone talking about her breasts all the time. She's just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. You can talk about them. Like, I'm fun. I'm funny. This is how I want to look. I love myself. Good for her. That's great.
Yeah. And in addition to supporting Black Lives Matter during quarantine, she's also spent, I believe, over $1 million helping to fund vaccine research for corona.
Yep.
And has called out other rich people saying they need to do the same.
That's great.
Brady, I have a question for you. Do you have any advice for anyone who's like a Dolly stan, but maybe their friend group doesn't get it, right? Like, any advice for our students out there who are trying to work Dolly into the conversation, who are trying to stand for her, and they're just feeling like they don't know how to bring it up? Like, how can you bring Dolly into your social life as a hip teen or a hip college student?
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
I think you just have to cut straight to it. Wow, Rodney, thank you. I stan Rodney and all the work that he does to put this together. It makes it seamless, so easy. So I think you just have to come out right out the gate and say, well, she's one of the best songwriters of all time, period. Do you like music? Okay, who's your favorite songwriter? They probably love and respect the hell out of Dolly Parton. You know?
Yeah.
She has that Mariah Carey effect that people don't know that she's also the writer. She's not just the voice and the face.
Yeah.
Yep. What are the two songs she wrote in the same night? Is it Jolene and I Will Always Love You?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right? Two of the best songs of all time, one night. That's nuts.
For students, if you ever want to feel bad about yourself and your output, just remember that Dolly Parton wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in the same day, and then just be like, well, I give up.
Mm-hmm.
Or let it motivate you to push through the tiredness and write your own Jolene.
Well, maybe give up in the sense of like, it's not going to be that good, so I shouldn't even judge myself. I should just go forward.
Fair. But don't do what Jeff Hiller and Sarah Chase said, which was just give up. Don't give up. Keep going.
No, keep pushing till you're in 9 to 5 the musical on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want for all of our students watching here tonight.
Take notes.
Now, Brady, I feel like before Caitlin, this is probably going to be the opposite of what you hoped I would do right now. But before you leave, I feel like I need to address the elephant in the room. Caitlin felt like on the last live stream, I maybe went too far. That I maybe made things weird between all of us by expressing the possibility that I might, I don't know, propose. Considering that you are not a single person. We're cool, right?
We're totally cool.
That's what I thought. I just needed Caitlin and everyone at home to know that, like, it wasn't, you got it. It was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not doing that very problematic thing where I tell you how to feel about something, am I?
No, not at all. And in fact, we'll make a pact. If in 20 years, neither of us is married, we will get married.
Wow.
Wow, you all heard it here first.
This got a little hotter. Dolly Parton officiates at age 94.
Well, Brady, it's always a gosh darn delight to have you on the show. Thanks for coming in and talking about Dolly. What a treat.
For sure. Hey, everybody, listen up. These two know what they're talking about.
Amazing.
You know, not a lot of shows recognize that Dolly Parton is its own school subject.
They don't, you know, and, you know, one of the reasons I wanted to make sure we addressed it tonight is because both in my time as a student and now in my time as both a professor and an academic advisor, I have really been on the front lines of fighting for Dolly recognition. Yeah. And so I thought it was, I wanted to bring that fight to the public and say, I am doing what I can from the inside to get our students credit, right? To get the credit for the work they're doing in standing her. And so just know you have an ally in me. That's all I wanted to say.
You're taking this fight to the streets. You're taking it to the streams. We're going to win.
We're going to win. And you know who always wins?
I do.
It's I'm so excited. She's here. And the thing about our next guest is she was on maybe the first or second actual live show that we ever did. She's truly iconic. She's one of the funniest people I've ever met. I'm truly thrilled. She's been on our live shows, and you better believe she's going to be on the podcast very soon. Please welcome to our stage, Legina Hill.
Coming through with a costume.
Yes, honey. I was trying to figure out a way to work these in. Yes, I'm here. Mention it all.
Make it fashion.
Okay.
Wow. Well,
Yes,
Legina, you've been watching for a long time. You've been popping off in the chat. Anything you weren't doing okay there for a while?
Okay, a few things. Oh, of course, now my dog wants to come as well. Few things. I don't like The Rock. I'm going to put that out there. I don't see it for him. But obviously the girls have spoken, and yes, he's rich. Yes, he's handsome, but I don't know what it is. I don't like him. You heard it here first. Okay. Secondly, Ken McGraw, I stan, I love, so whatever. But I don't like it when people don't like wear. I prefer when people don't wear a shirt under their jerseys. It's a personal thing. It's
Coming to Ken on a number of levels. Ken is Ken.
So I'm saying, Ken, you looked fine, but your other friend with the Lakers jersey, and he had a shirt on, and I don't like that.
I mean, wow. Okay, Legina is popping off.
Just want to put that out there. Also, I stand the Smith sisters, who also isn't that a band that they need to get on that immediately.
And we'll talk to them. We'll DM them immediately. But you are on the show because a lot of our students may be younger and they need some guidance. They need some guidance in life, especially our teens, and they need to know how to face typical situations that might happen to them when they attend school. So we just wanted to run some scenarios by you, and we'll get your advice, if you're the guidance counselor, for what to do. So first up, this is something that can happen to a lot of people.
Yes.
Mom is an internationally acclaimed fashion designer, and she asked you and your best friend to be the face of her newest campaign. In reality, she only uses the photos of your best friend. You feel betrayed by them both, your mom and your best friend, even though you aren't a model. Things are a little awkward.
Well, first of all, you need to remind yourself that you're Blair motherfucking Underwood. Is it Underwood? No, Bergdorf. Sorry.
Waldorf. Black male actor. Blair Waldorf is the white female character, but it doesn't matter. You are Blair Underwood.
Either one. Listen. I've always thought she was the most gorgeous one. Of course, no one can take away from Blake Lively. She's like 60 feet tall, big boobs, all that stuff. But I think this girl right here, the rumor was that she was born in a prison. But then it turned out that was not true. That was it was just, something that Us Weekly ran with. But her mother was in prison when she was pregnant with her. So right there, yes, star. Okay.
Dear God.
Anyway, right. So anyway, if you are Blair and your mother does that to you, I say you sleep with her third or fourth husband.
Wow.
That's my tip, kids.
Wow.
That didn't happen.
Wow.
But I always wanted it to.
Iconic.
Go for the juggler. Sleep with mom's husband. That's how you take back your power.
Yes. Sorry, that's the only way. That could have been a storyline.
I wish that had been the storyline. It would have been more fun, actually.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we have another very relatable situation. So this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Your best friend steals your girl, and now you have to beat him in a regatta. You're sailing different boats, and his parents are sponsoring your boat, but the girl's sister's B&B is sponsoring your boat. What do you do? Because now things are awkward.
So I just want to say that the only reason why I knew what regatta was that was on my SAT was because of this show. So don't let anyone tell you that you can't learn anything from TV, okay?
I mean, you would never do that.
Okay, when was I going to hear about a regatta in landlocked Georgia or San Diego, but like the dodgy side? So anyway, you're
San Diego.
The thing is, this is, even though they tried so hard, this was the like first time I ever felt Dawson had ever lost at anything. You know, like taking on the chin.
Okay.
If you are a very tall, attractive white man from an upper middle class seaside town,
just take it on the chin.
Take that one L in your life. Come
Take
on.
an L. And if you aren't following James Vanderbeek on Instagram, you're missing out on maybe 8 or 9 small children that he has. It's insane.
He's got a football team. It's like, what are you, Mormon?
They all look like
very
Mormon angels, though. They're
all
all
there.
it's crazy.
One of them has a shaved side, and she, first of all, a model already, but then she got that haircut, and I was like,
I'm done.
I'm done.
Jeff Hiller was talking about a YouTube K-hole. I have fallen into many a Vanderbeek K-hole where I just can't stop looking at their family photos.
And they're dressed every day like they're flower girls. Or
yes.
Every day there's a huge wedding going on, and
But is he doing? Do you think the residuals from Dawson's Creek is that good that you could have 12 children?
Well, think about this. He's got the Dawson's Creek money. He also did a pretty good stint on One Tree Hill.
I forgot about that.
He had the Be in Apartment 23.
Oh, right.
And then he's done like little things here and there. Like,
And Pitch, right? He was the coach on, was it called Pitch?
Yeah.
It was about the black girl. And I watched all of it, but now I'm already.
Gossler. That was Mark Paul Gossler from Save
Oh, it was.
But they're basically the same.
How dare I?
James Vanderbeek was on Pose.
Right. He was that crazy boss. That was a good role for him.
He works just enough to keep those kids in clothes. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Isn't that all we just want? Just enough to have 12 kids.
Also, he did a couple of big movies. He did Varsity Blues and stuff like that. Like we forgot it, but he did some movies.
He's
okay. All right. Listen, so I need to stop counting other people's money. I'm sorry. I just wonder.
No, I got lost in his bank account too.
It's a lot of kids.
We got one more scenario for you.
Final scenario. So turns out your dad is a prolific serial killer and he's responsible for shooting your best friend's dad. Now things are awkward between you and your best friend.
I don't even know who the hell this is. Who is this?
Betty Cooper from Riverdale.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm I have never watched Riverdale.
Okay, but like
not Tyra. How dare you?
You can still have an opinion on what happens when your dad is a serial killer and he kills your best friend's dad.
Shoots, not kills.
Oh, excuse me.
He gets killed later by someone else.
I like to mind the business that pays me. You know, I don't see how I'm involved in any of this. Okay. You take her out for a little Cold Stone on free period. you just don't mention it. Lord.
Don't mention that your dads have shot each other. That's not your business.
No, it's not your business. You weren't there.
Grown folks' business. Yeah. It's about SATs, prom. Like, keep it surface.
Keep your priorities in line.
Do you have any other advice for the teens that you've maybe learned from decades of watching teen programming?
Yes. If he looks too old to be in high school, he is. The whole sleeping with the teacher thing gets muddied 10 years out, so don't worry about it today. You know, like if that was your journey, don't let it hold you back. And that doesn't mean that you have to go to college and sleep with the teacher either, right? How many, like, that's, you know. And also I'd like to say that just because someone dies doesn't mean that you have to go looking into any of it. Unless you're Veronica Mars, then because that was one of the best teen dramas. But
sure.
Veronica was the only one that had to. Everyone else, you're making a choice.
Yeah.
Detective professionally or let it go.
Exactly. Boom.
If you're not making money, then then it's not worth your time.
Then you should be studying for the ASATs or ACTs, whatever.
You know, in TV land, we call them ASATs.
You know, who's the test for me is Legina Hill. We love her. Thank you.
Legina, always an A+ time. You were one of the most brilliant minds.
This was a great time. This is a great time. My class ended early and I ran over here. I was like, yes.
I know you were in a class. You were doing the thing. You were
I'm teaching the sketch.
You were
teaching the sketch.
You were doing the thing.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
Love you. Being here. We stand you so hard. Wow, Caitlin.
I can't believe it. The school year is going to start tomorrow now that we're all ready with the cram session.
I'm so excited. And I was peeping my eyes on some of the folks in the chat, and some of my real life students were here. So
yeah,
I will be having a pop quiz on Tuesday.
Obviously. If you don't want
you better know what to do if you get yourself in a tricky situation in a regatta.
You know what? You better know the word regatta, okay?
Yeah. Well, this has been so much fun. I want to give a huge shout out to the wizard behind the curtain. You saw him for a moment, but Rodney Brazil. We couldn't do these live streams without his brilliant, beautiful mind.
He couldn't come close.
And shout out to all of our incredible guests. We've had so many guests in the last 2 hours. It's insane.
Yes, I will quickly rattle them off because we loved them all. We had, of course, Lady Lightning, which is Gracie Carly and Tony Bush. Then we had Kevin Fallon, Michael Hartney, and Lauren Lapkus. Jeff Hiller and Sarah Chase, both of Broadway. Benjamin Farha and Mikey DeFrancisco. Tina Bloom, Angel Yao, and Katie Brodnick. Then we had the Smith sisters, Lauren Ashley, Mariah, and Rachel. Ken McGraw, Doug Wydick, Howard Hendricks, Powell, Brady O'Callahan, and last but anything but least, Legina Hill.
Now, if you loved any of our guests, the exciting thing for you is they all have been or will soon be on our podcast. So make sure you are following We Stand Together, the podcast, wherever you choose to listen to podcasts, because we're on all the platforms. And if you like what you hear, be sure to leave us a 5-star review, and we just might read it on the pod.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Listen to our podcast. We love you. Lauren, thank you for co-hosting, co-standing, and co-teaching with me.
Caitlin, thank you for co-hosting, co-standing, and co-teaching with me. And thank you all for tuning in. And if you had fun tonight, tell everyone you know about us.
We love you. Thank you. We stand.
We stand. And just to be clear, Brady O'Callahan and I are engaged. So back clear. Very clear.